I'm feeling very into Mexican food, probably from that place, the Cava. You know, like where allegedly like a takeout bag contained or didn't contain or allegedly contained $50,000. But we need to shut our mouths. I'm just getting started for the day. Did you guys see what Stephen Miller said? Here, I'll just play it for you so we can talk about it.
Here in the United States, we have taken the necessary and essential action of formally recognizing left-wing violence as a form of political terrorism that is a direct threat to our national security and the survival of our Republican form of government. President Trump issued a directive in our parlance. It's called a National Security Presidential Memorandum, or NSPM, NSPM 7 to be exact, that directs for the first time in American history all of our law enforcement and intelligence agencies to work together to disrupt, identify, defund, debank, arrest, and prosecute these political terrorists that are operating in our country. It's very important to understand that left-wing political terrorism seeks as its ultimate end the overthrow of our system and form of government. And we've seen this has taken place many times in many places throughout the years, and Secretary Rubio has provided you many examples. Left-wing terrorism always ends in bloodshed, misery, and suffering. It only can travel in one direction. There's no point at which the left-wing terrorist is satisfied with his gains and ceases progressing. Inevitably, left to run its course, it always becomes a gulag. It always becomes the mass imprisonment of political enemies, the stripping of their rights and freedoms, inflicting immense pain, humiliation, suffering, in order to establish complete and total control. Control through psychological and physical and actual terror. And we have to understand that that is the scope and the extent of the threat that we face.
Like, are you noticing the patterns? Both of them, they use the word bloodshed, which you shouldn't use that word. It should never be normalized that you just throw that out there like, there will be more bloodshed. Like, what is this? Hollywood? But let's go over what this document actually says. Where it says, the Trump administration unleashes global campaign to crush the radical left. T-word. I don't really quite know exactly what it is. There's no definition of it in here, but let's just see what they're going to do. So it says, Rubio says that they have exposed the long-standing willful blindness to the left-wing violence. I'm unclear about exactly what the violence is. Yeah, there's some words I'm just going to skip over because of the TikTok. Share the left-wing attacks. This is insane. Like, it's just pure insanity. You know, he says like, here, we've taken the necessary action, let's formally recognize the fact that you put welcome to the golden age down here. Let's formally recognize this on your own memorandum. I mean, so here it is right here. And we're going to go down the list here because I just want to see if you guys are noticing the same pattern. I mean, the pattern of the golden age. Now, we can get into this. That's for like a more deeper dive. Political wedge, co-opting, classical antiquity. This is the other thing here. I mean, they are obsessed. They're literally freaking like obsessed with like the whole Greek, Roman, you got Pete Court Seth's fantasies about, Roman and Greek soldiers. In their high tea. That dude that's in the E-Files a whole bunch of times and his wife and stuff. Like, when he was pointing out plans to the ballroom. This is Roman. And it just, keeps going on and on and on. Like, they're just using, like, old playbooks. Playbook is DARVO. Okay? It literally means deny, attack, and reverse victim offender. That's what they're doing. That is exactly what they're doing. So if they're not blatantly coming right on out and, I mean, they're threatening the citizenry is what they're doing. They're also conspiring against human rights. You know, what about the ICCPR treaty? I mean, you cannot just abuse citizens' rights. I mean, you can't just go around just like conspiring against citizens' rights just because you want to violate their ICCPR human rights treaties, which literally is, that's your political right. The system that they're using is just too uncanny. I mean, tell me if it sounds familiar. Deny, refusing to acknowledge the issue. Minimizing the harm, reframing the narrative without providing specifics, using selective memory, and then step 2, attack. Questioning the victim's character, attacking the victim's credibility, deflecting to unrelated issues. Step 3, reverse victim offender, claiming to be the real victim. I can't believe you would attack. Portraying the accuser as the aggressor, you know, well, using the vehicles, the cars, and then creating false equivalence. I mean, it's textbook. So if you know that they're doing that, take steps to prepare yourself mentally, because that's all that they have is smoke and mirrors and creating fear. That's what they think is dominance. Just making fear. They really think that they can just scare you into just believing in them and respecting them. We have no respect for people who play mind games with us. You work for the citizenry. And we need to make absolutely sure that all mechanisms are in place, that none of them stay in those chairs. They need to be impeached, removed, and convicted. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.